If your relationships feel unfulfilling or you're questioning a relationship, the problem often isn't the relationship itself. It's the foundation underneath it. The way your mind automatically shifts into survival mode, making trust, connection, and love harder to sustain. This isn't something you consciously choose, it's how your brain is wired. But when you build the right foundation using the 3 pillars discussed in this video, your brain naturally rewrites the story you tell yourself about life and love. It's effortless. See, it's not about forcing a positive mindset. In fact, it's impossible to do that. But when the right elements are in place, your brain will automatically rewrite your stories. In this video, I'll show you exactly what those elements are, how they shape your relationships, and what you can do today to start shifting your reality. My name is Aaran Solh. I'm the founder of Alchemy, and I'm a relationship coach and spiritual counselor. For the past 25 years, I've been passionate about helping people connect better to themselves and to others. You can check the description for more info and for the list of reflection questions and action steps that I mention later on in this video. Now, before I dive in, I want to make sure you understand the severity of the problem you're dealing with and how, even though what I'm offering you today isn't a quick fix, it's still worth putting time and energy into. When your mind starts painting negative pictures about a relationship, you don't just lose optimism. You actually start living a subtle frequency of unconscious fear. It can feel like anxiety, loneliness, stress, or even just an underlying sense that something isn't right. It can feel like a mild fog of depression that slowly discourages you from really living your life. This undercurrent of fear gradually destroys your health, your relationships, and even your belief in your ability to be happy and thrive. So check with yourself right now. Do you believe that you have the ability to be happy and thrive? Is there some doubt telling you otherwise? Give this video your full attention, and I promise you'll start building a new foundation, not only for your relationships, but for your life overall. Now let's dive in. To live a whole, fulfilled life and to be able to tell a positive story about it and your relationships, you need 3 core pillars. 1. A supportive and stable community where you belong and feel seen and safe. 2. A sense of purpose, something you love to do that your community honors and cherishes you for. 3. A deep connection to the spiritual. A personal relationship to that mystical feeling of being part of something greater, knowing deep inside yourself that you have a unique place in eternity. Now I know this list is a bit broad, so stick with me for a few more minutes while I break it down and give you some concrete action steps to take. If you're missing any one of these 3 pillars, a sense of belonging, a feeling of purpose, and a personal spirituality, the animal part of your brain will register it as a threat. Because without the safety of a tribe, without the feeling that you serve and are valued by that tribe, and without having a connection to something mystical beyond yourself and your tribe, you tend to feel on a deeply biological level like you are alone in the wild, unprotected, and at the mercy of a cruel world. It's an ingrained instinct. These 3 things, tribe, purpose, and mystical connectedness, are cornerstones of human thriving. Without them, you will tend to tell a negative story about yourself and the people in the world around you. And telling a negative story about yourself to yourself is the greatest cause of anxiety, low self-esteem, and generally giving up on life. These 3 aspects of living a positive life aren't only crucial to have if you want to feel safe and fulfilled in yourself, they are also crucial to have if you want a fulfilling romantic connection. So if you want to build strong, fulfilling relationships, you need to have these things first, and then share them with your partner. Bringing these sources of nourishment to the relationship rather than expecting the relationship to provide them. In the next section, I'll explain why romantic relationships suffer when you don't have these 3 pillars of a fulfilled life. After that, I'll be giving you some solutions and action steps, so stick around. People think relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or romantic partnerships, are about compatibility, shared interests, and chemistry. And there is, of course, truth in that. These things are necessary, but they are also just the surface. Underneath, a relationship is only as strong as the people in it. And if one or both people are missing one of these three pillars we discussed, the relationship will suffer. Now let's go over the three pillars. The first pillar is belonging. Without community and belonging, a romantic relationship becomes isolated. All the weight of emotional support falls on one person, and it's too much to carry alone. When this happens, resentment and exhaustion can build, making it difficult for either partner to feel truly supported. Without a community, you will expect a partner to also be your therapist, your parent, and to fulfill the role of all the different kinds of friends you might have if you had a rich social life. It's an impossible burden to put on one person. Can you imagine being all that to your partner, on top of being a good lover and possibly a co-parent? The second pillar is purpose. Without purpose and external validation, the relationship starts feeling stagnant. When neither person is deeply engaged in something that makes them feel valued by the broader community, they start looking to the relationship itself to provide all of their validation. And no romantic relationship can do that all the time and in every way. In fact, romantic relationships may very well be the source of conflict and difficulty at times. And if there isn't anything outside the relationship to give you self-esteem and validation, that pressure can suffocate the connection. The third pillar is spirituality. Without a spiritual connection, there's no bigger picture to hold on to. Conflicts can feel like dead ends and life's struggles become overwhelming because there's no spiritual grounding to return to. A spiritual foundation can create resilience, offering a deeper perspective that allows both partners to navigate challenges with greater trust and patience. Without it, small disagreements can feel like existential threats rather than opportunities for growth. Having a spiritual source to turn to can also provide deeper insights into the connection. Now, think about the people you know who are unhappy in their relationships. Maybe they feel suffocated, resentful, or unseen. Maybe they're constantly searching for more, but are never satisfied. At the root of these struggles, one or more of these pillars is missing. The friend who clings too tightly to relationships, they probably lack community, so they put all their emotional needs onto one person. The partner who seems aimless, dissatisfied, or lost, they might lack purpose, and the relationship alone can't fill that void. The person who cycles through relationships, searching for something but never finds it, they may lack spirituality and the understanding that fulfillment isn't just about the immediate moment, but about something deeper. Do you see yourself in any of these? If so, don't worry, because the solution isn't to fix the relationship. It's to strengthen yourself and the three pillars of a healthy life, so that your unconscious mind feels safe and can tell a positive story about your reality. The reality is that we don't live in a world where each person is automatically appreciated for their natural talents. But there's no reason why we can't strive to create that together. That's part of our mission here at Alchemy, making sure every person has a tribe and is appreciated for who they naturally are and the gifts they bring to the world. Because when you are seen, valued, and given the space to contribute in a meaningful way, you naturally begin to tell a good story about yourself. A story where you matter, where your presence enriches the world, and where your path is leading somewhere worth going. Imagine how it would have felt if, as a child, you were appreciated for your strengths and encouraged to explore the things that excited you with freedom and curiosity. That kind of recognition fosters confidence, self-worth, and a sense of belonging. Three things that shape the unconscious narrative you tell yourself about your place in the world. If you didn't get that as a child, you have the opportunity right now to reparent yourself and support your own freedom. You can create the conditions for a new empowering internal story by surrounding yourself with a supportive community, cultivating purpose, and connecting to something greater than yourself. There's an old saying, you can't excel at that which you do not love. Before you find a place of true belonging and value in the world, you have to dig deep within yourself to figure out who you really are. When you do this, you start aligning with your natural gifts and passions, things that make you feel alive, connected, and valued. It may not have been something that was encouraged in your past, but it's something you can encourage yourself to do right now. And when you do, you begin unconsciously telling yourself a better story. A story of worth, meaning, and connection. And if you need help finding yourself and who you really are, get in touch. I'd love to help. Your life is shaped by the story you tell yourself, and that story is shaped by the foundations you build. When you have a strong community, a deep sense of purpose, and a connection to something greater than yourself, your mind automatically tells a better story. One of belonging, value, and meaning. You don't have to force positivity. You don't have to battle self-doubt every day. Because when these three pillars are strong, confidence, fulfillment, and peace arise naturally. So take a moment to think about it. Where do you stand right now? Which of these pillars is strongest in your life? And which one feels weak? To close, I want to leave you with a few questions and suggested actions that will help you build these pillars in your life. Not just as ideas, but as something real. Something that reshapes the way you see yourself and your relationships. The questions and actions are listed in the description, so you can check them out when you finish watching. Pillar 1. A supportive and stable community. Without community, even the strongest person can feel lost, disconnected, and unseen. Humans are wired for belonging. And when you have a stable, supportive group of people around you, your brain naturally tells a story of safety and worth. Take a moment to reflect on these questions. 1. Who in your life truly supports you? Where do you feel most seen and valued? If you don't have such a place, take some time to imagine what that place would look like and who would be part of it. 2. Do you ever isolate yourself when you're struggling? How does that impact the way you see yourself? How can you be more vulnerable in times of need? 3. In what ways do you hold yourself back from deeper connection? Through fear, past experiences, or limiting beliefs? Now here are 3 simple actions to start strengthening this pillar of community. 1. Reach out to someone today, not out of obligation, but because connection is vital. Simply express appreciation for their presence in your life. From there, see where the conversation goes. 2. Find your people. If you don't have a community where you feel truly seen, start looking. Join a group, a class, or meetup that resonates with you. It takes time to find and build true connections, but if you stay home, buried in your phone, you'll never find it. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with putting one foot in front of the other. So take it one step at a time and never give up. And remember, the more you get to know yourself, the closer you'll be to finding a community that truly nourishes you. 3. Offer support. When you show up for others, you deepen your own sense of belonging. Some people call it selfish service. When you serve others, you feel good. It's a natural part of being human and alive in this world. The self-centered culture of competition most of us live in is one that destroys a true sense of belonging and connection. So find a place to volunteer and serve. It's one of the best ways to build community. Pillar 2, a sense of purpose and value. Purpose isn't just about career or achievement. It's about knowing that your presence in the world matters, that your unique combination of experience, skills, talents, pleasures, desires, and insights bring something of value to others. Here are the 3 questions to ask yourself. 1. What activities, skills, or experiences light you up, make you most feel engaged and alive? They can be small or large, simple or complex. The idea here is to answer with authenticity. 2. Where in your life do you already bring value to others, even in ways you might not recognize? 3. What beliefs hold you back from stepping into your purpose? And what would happen if you challenged them? Did anybody in your life or your childhood hold you back from following your natural curiosity and doing the things you truly love? How can you find a way to truly excel at these things and even make a living from them? Now here are 3 things you can do this week to strengthen this pillar of purpose and to feel more valued. 1. Start a purpose journal. Write down every moment you feel engaged, useful, or deeply fulfilled. Look for patterns and then gradually add more and more of them to your life. You might even consider changing jobs or careers to follow them. 2. Take 1 step. Just 1. Whether it's volunteering, creating, mentoring, or building something, do it this week. Remember, your talent may not be practical, but emotional, spiritual, or social. They are all valuable. 3. Ask others what they see in you. This question can bring you a deep feeling of validation, and it can also grant you clarity. Ask close friends or colleagues how they see you naturally bringing value to the world. Look for patterns and find the overlapping places where you bring value by doing something you enjoy. Pillar 3, a deep connection to the spiritual. Call it spirituality, call it nature, call it the vastness of the universe. Whatever it is, every person needs something mystical and greater than themselves to relate to and turn to for peace and insight. Without that connection, life can feel chaotic and directionless. But when you cultivate this pillar, your mind tells a story of peace, trust, and inner strength. So ask yourself, 1. When in my life have I felt the most connected to something greater? What created that experience? 2. What practices or rituals make me feel grounded, present, and in tune with life's deeper rhythms and flows? 3. How do I currently handle uncertainty and struggle? Do I resist it, or do I seek to find meaning in it? Now here are 3 ways to bring this pillar of spirituality into your life through action. 1. Create space for reflection. Even if it's 5 minutes a day, sit in silence, meditate, journal, or set an intention. Do something that connects you to the vastness beyond daily distractions. 2. Spend time in nature. Nature is one of the fastest ways to reconnect. Walk barefoot, sit under a tree, watch the sunrise. Let it remind you that you're part of something infinite. If you are religious, spend time in a sacred space created for it. 3. Explore new perspectives. Read, listen, or engage in discussions that expand your understanding of life's deeper meaning. Find ways to stretch yourself beyond what you know. Out of these 3 pillars, community, purpose, and spirituality, where do you feel strong and where do you need to grow? Take time to strengthen the ones that feel missing, and you will feel the shift. Not just in your own peace of mind, but in the way you relate to others, in the way you navigate life's challenges, and in the story you unconsciously tell yourself every single day. As I said, this isn't a quick fix, but it's definitely a path worth walking. You deserve relationships that thrive, and you deserve a life that feels whole. Remember to check out the description for the lists of questions and action steps. And if you resonate, please like the video and subscribe. I also need community validation to continue doing this work. You might also check out the playlist, The Path to Perfect Intimacy. Check the description for the link. Thank you.